That is absolutely full of mud. Gents, hello, welcome back to the channel. John here on a beautiful spring morning here in Lincolnshire. Behind me is my wife's 2010 Fiat 500, pretty in pink. And as you can see, we're trying to air it out and Dad's doing some detective work because it is as wet and as damp as hell in there, and we don't know why. It's been getting worse for the past couple of years, and every time Mrs. JC goes to use it, it's taking her so long to dry it out in the morning. In a previous video, well, it took over 25 minutes to defrost, and she recently sent me this photograph. You can see by that photograph, it's less than optimal. It's actually freezing up on the inside of the windscreen and windows. In this video, Dad and I are going to try and diagnose what is the problem with the Fiat 500. Is it coming in through the roof? Is it coming in through the bulkhead? Or is there something more sinister going on? Why is my Fiat 500 so wet? We'll soon find out. Hello, good morning.
Hello, buddy.
What are you doing in the footwell of a 2010 Fiat 500?
I'm just seeing how damp it's not.
Yeah, we're in Mrs. JC's car, as we've just discussed. It's been damp, and she's been moaning about it. What are you, because you've got everything out, what are you looking for?
I'm looking for water under the carpets for a start.
Anything?
No.
Okay.
It's not 100%. There's no... You'd expect wet. I've got my hand right under there, look. It's not bone dry, but there's no wet.
So I've looked on the forums, I've looked online. This model has one of these sunroofs, and we have for a while thought it could be the sunroof leaking and tried to clean the drains. We'll talk about that in a minute because, well,
look, the hand's dry.
There are no drains in here. One of the problems could be coming through the bulkhead, could be moisture coming into the bulkhead, or the air conditioning vent, and
well, we'll do the drains.
We're going to just do a little bit of diagnostics.
There's no water in the boot.
Well, let's take a look.
Look at the swimming pool. It's been drained. Absolutely bone dry.
Yeah, it is absolutely bone dry in there. It's not getting in through there, is it? And the seats at the back don't appear wet either.
Absolutely bone dry.
Now, one thing I will tell you, the driver's seat and the passenger seat is wet.
Yeah.
Is damp.
Yeah.
Which leads to me that it's probably coming from above the seats.
Do you think it's coming from the heavens?
Well, it's certainly coming from somewhere. Where do you think we should start?
I'm going to do the drains anyway.
Yep.
Full stop.
Yep.
Just to make sure it's not sitting in there and condensating out.
Yep.
Then it's got to be higher up. It certainly ain't coming low down, is it?
We looked in a previous video to clean the drains out in the sunroof.
Yeah, it ain't got any, has it?
It has not got any. For everyone shouting at the TV going, clean the
that's
drains.
what I expected.
Even in the previous video when I said it doesn't have drains, people said clean the drains. It doesn't have drains in the sunroof. One of our problems and theories is Mrs. JC doesn't go very far the car.
It never gets dried out.
She goes to work and back, which is actually less than a mile and a half down the road, and the car never
dries out.
We'll try and identify some damp.
What we need to do is have a good look at it. But it's not as bad as I expected.
No, but you've seen the pictures and you've seen how it is in the morning.
That's a picture of the sunroof, is it?
No, that's the front windscreen.
Yeah, I've seen her get in it, and
yes.
But then again, when it's been cold, everybody's car does that.
But it freezes on the windscreen.
Yeah, mine does.
I had frost on the inside of this.
It's wet inside.
This quarter panel the other day.
Yeah. We're going to have to clip and do the plenum drains and the heater drain, air conditioning drain.
Yeah.
We're going to make sure that it's not permanently on recirc on the heater.
No, it's not.
Well, what I'm saying is it actually not?
Oh, okay, I understand.
And we'll go from there.
I would have thought if it was permanently on recirc, it'd go mouldy.
It's definitely damp. The seats are damp, as you say.
Seats are damp. All right, fine. We'll do some diagnostic work then. Where the problem is, do some work, clean some vents.
It's not as bad as I expected. I thought I was going to be taking the seats and carpets out.
Okay, so you're starting under the bonnet. What have you spotted? What can you see?
I want to examine this draining bit.
Yeah, there's some drains here, isn't there? Down in there. What can we see in there?
I don't know. I'll have a good look in there.
So we're taking off this scuttle panel first and foremost.
Let's just knock the little grobblers down.
Off comes that trim. Don't lose these. Annoyingly, to get this trim off, you have to take the wiper arms off. Don't forget, when you take off your plastic trim, put it in a nice metal container. It's magnetic.
It's just a blinking Ford KA, isn't it?
Certainly is. It's built on the same platform, isn't it? Now, you've just asked me to put the air conditioning on.
Yes, mate.
Why is that?
I just wanted to see if it would actually be a problem with the condensate. Because you're not going to have blinking condensation from the air conditioning if it's not working, are you?
No, I totally understand.
But it is working.
Mrs. JC doesn't use the aircon.
Well, she ought to do.
Would you suggest we have the aircon on when using the heater?
You have the air conditioning on all the flipping time.
It acts as a dehumidifier, I'm assuming.
It does, me old mate, yeah.
So the air conditioning condenser and the pump and everything is kicking in. It's all working fine. What you got there? That's a proper, is that a proper puller, is it?
Yes, John.
That's not how we do it on Protons. That's blowing really cold as well, so no issues with the aircon gas, I don't think. We'll turn her off. 69,000 miles. So now to take that trim off. The moisture inspector is with us today. Okay, so we've got that panel off, and now we can see all under here. We can see the wiper arm linkage, we can see the strut tops. You can see how wet these are and how damp these are. So there is water sitting in here, look. And we can also see water in there. You've got your mirror in there.
I've got my head in there.
What can you see?
I can see this thing that I'm going to take out in a minute.
Just describe to us what you can see in there.
I can't see nothing because I ain't got my torch. Passes me torch, Johnny. Shine the blinking torch in there. And I can see this blooming plastic hurdy-gurdy. I'm just going to try and ease this out. Because I think this is where I might have a bit of an issue.
Aha, what is that?
Drain.
That is one of the drains, and well,
It's bunged up, isn't it?
it's at, oh yeah, hang on a minute.
It's got a flap in it, you see. Give me my blooming parts back.
Aha! That is absolutely full of mud.
It's got a flap in it, dude, but
Look at that.
I don't say that's all the problem, though, but it's not been helping.
Look at that. It's absolutely full.
I'm thinking it's getting into the heater
Yeah.
and sitting in the heater,
Ah.
even though it's not pouring onto the floor.
Well, that's certainly not helping, look. That's absolutely caked up.
Oh, aye. Yeah. Look,
Yeah, absolutely full.
it's not a flap, is it?
No. It's
People told you it was the plenum drains.
It's full. Let's have a look. That'll be the problem.
It's not helping, dude.
Look at it all on the floor.
It's not a flap. I thought that was a flipping flap in there, and it's squad.
Try that one.
Yeah.
Look, before and after. We're going to have to clean them out. I'll take them into the Mrs. JC's house.
You know you're not. You're taking these in the flipping sink.
Do you think that's never been out in its life?
Well, no, because you can see how difficult it is to get it out. There you
Hold
go.
that up. Show me that. That's the bloody problem.
It is. That's it, dude.
So that being blocked, that little drain.
It's leaking round it, isn't it? But think about it, when it chucks it down, it's not going to be able to leak fast enough, is
No.
it?
So where's the water going then?
To the heater.
Yeah. And that heater's what? Causing moisture.
It'll be blowing steam, won't it?
Ha! Look at that. All in there. Dirt.
Alluvium.
Hey John, how much mud was in those drains? You could actually pot a plant with that. You know what?
We're not wasting our time.
We are not wasting our time. What you got in your... You've got stuff. Spiderweb. What have you been doing over here?
I've been gluing that trim back together.
Oh yeah, we broke one of these trims.
Well, no, just
Taking it
the
off.
clip fell off, nearly fell off.
Walk us through that then now, because I've removed all that mud from them drains. I'm going to wash them in the sink. Why would those drains being blocked cause condensation?
I'm guessing the heater's filling up with water, John boy.
So will we need to check the cabin filter now?
We're going to check the blooming heater drain,
Yeah,
the plenum drain, and we're going to check the cabin filter for being wet through.
yeah. So even though we've found that mud, we're not out the woods yet?
No, not yet, because you can bet your life the blinking plenum drain's, the heater drain's going to be blocked, isn't it?
Let's check that as well. Let's clean them off. You're piddling about with your wet and dry.
Yeah, I want to suck this alluvium out of there.
So now we're just sucking all the dirt and damp and grime out from the bulkhead. Dad's using an implement to just get it all out of there. So just by the strut tops here are some drains that we've unclogged. And same again this side. And it's about impossible to get a camera fully in there, but you can see these drains here. That's where it comes through from the bulkhead into them drains and out through the engine bay. They've been unclogged too. Well, now those are nice and clean, I'm going to put them back in. So they're there back in place, we've put them back in, we've cleaned them out. That's not going to be helping the job. What's next?
Going to take the cabin filter out and have a look at it.
Yup.
And look for this condensate drain tube. If we can't find it from here, we'll go underneath.
Now you probably can get the cabin filter out without doing this, but to make life easy I'm going to take this kick panel out so we can get the cabin filter out. Now comes that panel. It was 1, 2, 3, it's a Torx and then 2 Allen bolts. And now I can get access to the cabin filter, which is held in place with this cover right in the back there. Now that wasn't the easiest thing to get out of there, to be honest with you. It's
I'll get from the chip shop.
nice. So there is the cabin filter out. It's not wet. It's been replaced at some point in its life. I can't remember replacing the cabin filter for Mrs. JC, but it doesn't need a new one at the moment. It's not dirty. I've given it a blow off with the air compressor. The cabin filter inspector. What do you reckon? Don't spend money on another one. There you are. Don't buy another one. So we're going to just clean that out and replace it. Getting that cabin filter out wasn't the easiest of jobs.
Not as tricky as a new tape Scenic.
All right, tell me more.
I take the clutch pedal out.
What, to get to the cabin filter?
Yeah.
Thanks, France.
The great thing is, you used to go, yes, it's an automatic.
I've just been installing some nanas out your fridge, sorry.
Okay. Just want to warn you, there is a trip hazard here.
Oh yes, yeah, don't
Can you
trip over.
acknowledge that there is a trip hazard? Say, oh yes, I've noticed there's a trip hazard.
Well, if I fall over it, I'll acknowledge it's there.
Okay. Because I tell your mum, if you see some blue water in the lavatory, please do not drink it. Do not drink the blue water in the lavatory, as it has cleaning materials in
But
it.
if it's not blue water, it's fine to drink the water out the lav?
Yes.
Okay. So cabin filter is out. Now we're looking for the drain tube for the aircon, right?
It's right in front of your nose where you're working.
Oh, let's have a look at that.
Could just put some...
Oh yeah, there it is. There is the drain tube. There.
There you go.
Right, so you've taken it out. You've got it out the floor. Well, that's good news.
It is, mate, isn't it?
It's not blocked.
Just
in
make
fact,
sure the bottom of the...
there's no alluvium in that at all, is there?
No,
That's
which is shocking.
nice and clean. Shocking, you say?
Yeah, because they've usually got stuff in them.
It's fine.
They've usually got stuff in them.
Tastes like Lincolnshire. You're poking it out, eh?
I'm just having a proggle, just to make sure. No dirt on that at all.
Well, that's not one of the problems, is it?
I'd regret taking that out till they retire.
Right, we've put that scuttle panel back on. We've given it a good old jet wash and just done some rust protection on top of these strut tops as well. I suppose we should probably test that the washers are working.
Yeah, before we put all the bugger back
Would
together.
that... Now, it's got automatic wiper arm. So should we put the wipers on before we do that?
Yeah, might as well if you want, save a problem on it.
Now, upon reassembly, we have found a problem. The washers are not working, but the pump isn't actually firing. Don't panic, there is an axle stand under there, by the way. So we've got a problem.
Good left and right. It was working when I brought it in, it must...
Right, washer bottle is not working. Washers aren't working. We've got the pump inspector here. What's going on, mate?
What's going on? Going on at the pump's seized.
Why?
Because she ain't used them for a million years, isn't it?
This is behind the camera scenes.
Concentrate, Pete.
Production inspector.
Yeah. Producer.
Producer Crystal.
Where's my golden globe?
Yeah. Golden Lab. Not Golden Globe.
No, he's got the camera. I go to the camera now.
Behind the camera. Reset. Right, we're going to test this. How are we testing this?
I've got a bulb in there, special orange bulb for testing washers. They do the back one. Yeah. What's that telling you?
That's telling us that there's power
Do you know
to
that's
the
also
motor.
telling you that what it does, it reverses the polarity Doing the back ones, it spins one way, and doing the front ones, it spins the other way.
There you go. So the likelihood is that the pump is blocked or broken or
Not turning.
seized. Good.
Worst case scenario is
New pump.
pump's buggered. Let's just take the pump off and see what's occurring.
Well, off comes the pump. Show us the pump then.
Right, try the bugger there, John Boy, please.
What have you done?
Just try the mouse, please.
So whilst I was working that, you were tapping it with the end of a screwdriver, thinking, well, hopefully it was going to kick it into life.
Yeah.
But it's dead, isn't it?
It is. It is. It is faulty.
So we've discovered we actually need a new pump for the car. It's probably been broken a while and Mrs. JC hasn't even realised or bothered to tell us. We had a ring round, AP Titan.
Action Pompos.
Yes, Facila Section Pumpo doesn't work. Pump inspector. So we've had a ring round Euro car parts. However, I don't know how they do it. 50 quid. They've got lots in stock, no doubt. AP Titan 9.95 plus VAT, but sadly can't get us one till tomorrow. There's a new place in town opened up called Napa Car Parts. Now, that's going to upset people on TikTok. But we're going to go to Napa Car Parts. They've got one in stock, premium one apparently, £10. So we're going to go get it.
Hello, Booty.
I don't know how Euro Car Parts can justify saying one's £50.
They didn't want to sell you. Theirs is better quality.
We'll soon find out. Mission accomplished. New washer pump, 11 quid. Right, well, the foreman has said dinner time was successful. We've had some dinner. Dad's back in the workshop. What are you doing?
Putting the tools away.
What's the plan next? So we fitted that washer pump.
Yeah.
That works fine. Now what? Put it all back together, right?
Well, we need to have a look at that sunroof, I thought.
Yes, we do need to look at the sunroof because it doesn't have drains necessarily that you can clean out, but it might just need, I don't know, a clean of the rubber seals.
You've got it, Gromit.
What are you doing now?
Well, I couldn't see.
Well, whilst you're probing the coolant, I've actually been given the interior. Good old clean out. It's looking much better now. That looks like it's in the coolant. Yeah. There's some coolant in it, mate.
Now I've lost the lid now.
It's a hard old job being an inspector.
That was a good tool.
Right, let's get this roof open then.
Let's get this roof. Let's clean this seal. I would recommend she keeps the flipping blind shut.
What, on the roof?
Yeah.
Do you know why the blind is open?
No.
Well, when a big lad sits in it, his head touches the blind. Shall we shut this blind then? I don't think that blind has ever been shut in the entire ownership of the car.
If the vehicle's got condensation on this big old glass roof,
yeah,
it'll stop it dripping on Mrs. Coupland.
Yeah, fair enough. Right, let's open this this roof. Ready? There she goes.
Yeah, we're going to put it all the way back and we'll clean this blinking seal. But if it had been leaking, she'd have been dripping on her.
Yeah.
But you can't tell if the blind's shut, can you?
So there's some rust on here, which would indicate some sort of water ingress.
Well, water's got to get in there, hasn't it?
Yeah, but there's no drains. Everyone will say, clean the drains. There are no drains.
There are no drains. There is no drain. There is no drain.
Just an inspector. It's not time to go home yet.
Is that all it does? Does the sunroof go forward and then up or not? Or anything?
Yeah. Let me show you. Let me show you the sunroof.
I'm trying to show me how I can see most of the seal.
So there's the sunroof.
Yeah. I can see
So it does that
I
bit.
can see the back of the seal. There's a nick in the seal here.
Is the
And
nail?
it's not what I'd say.
Well, here, no, it's right there.
Yeah.
Sure.
It must be a design thing.
Maybe it's a design thing because I've got the same here.
You've got one, have you? Must. Right, so we need to clean. Oh, thank you. That's a good idea.
Oh, hey, at least you couldn't get your fingers chopped.
Yeah. Put your bloody fingers in there. He's chopped your fingers, grandfather. He's a cruel, heartless.
So it does that. That's operation number one.
Let's clean that then.
What are we going to use to clean it?
A damp cloth, perhaps.
So we've just cleaned that seal. This is all sort of rusty in there, but that's not a major issue. We've just cleaned this seal all the way along here, all the way along there, all the way along there, and we've cleaned the glass all the way under there as well. I think we'd call that belt and braces.
I think we've got to do the best we can before we get in big trouble with Mrs. C.
Is that your Mrs. C or my Mrs. C?
Your Mrs. C. You know very well, one of my main criteria for buying a car is it hasn't got a sunroof.
Yes. How to ruin a car?
Cut a hole in the roof.
Put a hole in the roof. So you're rubbing something on the seal there. What is it you're rubbing on there?
Silicon.
Not silicon spray?
No, because that silicon spray is from Scooby-Doo's.
Do you know what we should do?
What?
Get some kitchen silicon and just seal the bloody thing shut.
Now you're talking sense. If you have a roof, do not cut a hole in it.
Top tip.
Who used to do the top tips?
Ed China.
Ed China. Top tip from Ed China today. Don't cut a hole in your roof.
Can you show us that silicon you're putting on there? What is it?
Molycoat 111.
Yeah.
Silicon packing and O-ring lubricant.
There you go. So you need to lubricate your O-rings. You don't think it's been leaking?
I don't.
What makes you say that?
Because your roof lining would be stained, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. And as we've seen, the roof lining is, well, fine. There's no markings, there's no water that comes out of the clamshell there at the top.
Just do me a favour.
Yeah.
You go work the sunroof.
Yeah.
To the other position. What is the little scrivet thing just here for, Jonathan?
Little scrivet?
It's like, if you look in the door aperture, there's a little riv nut.
Oh, I don't know, this thing.
As if you're driving school sign or what?
I've got no idea what it's for. Comment down below if you know what that's for.
Unless it's for some form of roof carrying device.
There we have it then. We think we've solved the problem by unblocking these drains. We'll talk to Dad in a second why he thinks that's the problem. No AC condenser pipe issues, and the roof we think is okay. It's definitely not coming in at the back as well. Before we do anything else though, let's take a look at that washer pump, because I want to see why it failed. Have you been doing some grinding and polishing today?
Not today, no.
Oh, you're just geared up for grinding and polishing.
I am. Just in case I need to do something in an emergency.
Talk to us about this then. This is the washer pump.
Yeah.
From the Fiat 500.
There's two ways of doing this. Shall we do it the quick way or the...
Let's do it the good way, the nice way.
Oh, okay.
So you're cutting that open now?
Yeah.
Using a hacksaw. What are you expecting to see?
Seized up motor.
Ah, there she comes. Ah, there's your problem. Lastly, I've just checked the tyre pressures all around. The fronts were a little bit low, so I'm glad I've done that. Dad's even put the battery on charge. A little bit of TLC. Job's a good one. Just talk us through it then. So those drains that were blocked in the bulkhead,
Yes, mate.
sort of here, you reckon that those were the problem?
No, I think they've been allowing water to get into the heater.
Yeah.
As soon as she turns the blooming heater on, it blows moist air all up the screen, doesn't it?
Causing condensation. So we'll keep an eye on it. We'll see what happens. I'm going to take the car home. I'm going to leave the windows open this afternoon. I might even put the dehumidifier in it, just to sort of suck some of the moisture out of those seats. And some. Why did you take a sharp intake of breath then?
It doesn't seem damp now.
Well, we shall see what happens. It's not going to make it worse, is it? Having the dehumidifier in there.
No.
So we shall take it for a spin, take the inspector home, and keep that closed. We might be back to the drawing board, might we?
I bet we're not.
There you go, we'll soon find out.
We found something positive, didn't we?
We certainly have. Anyway, if you've enjoyed watching this little video, and maybe you've got the same problem on your Fiat 500, hopefully it's helped. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Don't forget to like the video and yeah, get involved. Till next time, from Dad, from I, and the inspector, who's over here. Where is she?
Mate.
Over here. She's waiting for some treats. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. See you later. Oh, it's John from the future or the past. Anyway, it's after this video and it's the next day. This is Mrs. JC's car, and you can see all the cars on the drive are all condensed up, all steamed up. In fact, well, even I think the smart car has probably got some, not frost, but it's on the screen. Mrs. JC's then, well, let's take a look at the inside. It doesn't look as condensed as it was. Still think there's water on the inside. Moment of truth. Well, it's bone dry. on that side. So driver's side, bone dry. Bone dry. Bone dry. We've solved the problem. We have solved the problem. Those scuttle drains and it needing a dry out were the problem. That's a happy Mrs. JC. Jobs are good and that really has fixed the problem. Well done, Dad. Part of the story, if you have the same problem with your Fiat 500, check those things that we did. Those drains were causing the problem. I'm surprised, but that's what's done it. As ever, thank you for watching this video. Dad and I have selected a couple more videos for you that we think that you might like. They're here now. Just give them a click to watch them. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. It means a lot to us. Thank you.